This is gonna be harder than I thought. 1 year ago, I put out a video in which I said Hurricane Ian was on its way, that I was sure I was going to lose everything. But I was still hopeful that that wasn't going to be the case. I made sure to tell all of you that no matter what happened, this channel and my content, my videos were going nowhere, and that I would be back. At that moment, my heart was breaking. Deep down, I knew I was going to lose everything. A year later, and here we are. I'm still here, and so is this channel. For those of you who are watching before Ian, who kind of know some scope of the loss and disaster I went through. But for those of you who have come to this channel since Ian, this is going to be a shock. I wasn't ready to tell a lot of what happened to me a few months ago. Even now, it's still difficult. But it's time I truly showed you what happened to my family, myself, and why even now, a year later, I still have a long way to go in recovering from a disaster that took so much from me. This is why this channel and you guys are so important to me, because at the end of the day, this channel was one of the few things that managed to survive Ian practically unscathed. I will forever be grateful for that. September 28th, 2022 is a day that I will carry with me in my heart and my soul for the rest of my life. Hurricane Ian will always be in the back of my mind. It will always be a part of every choice that I make. There's not a day that goes by that I don't think of that day and realize how lucky I am. There's not a day goes by that I don't think of the fact that September 28th, 2022 could have been my last day on Earth. When they say storm surge sneaks up on you, it really does. People have really no idea. In the face of Mother Nature's destructive power, I have never seen such a display of the worst of humanity and of the best of humanity. It is my hope that none of you will have to go through what I did, but at the end of the day, hurricanes will always come and go every single year. Every year, other disasters will happen somewhere else. We can't prevent them, but we can always be prepared. Just know that no matter what you see next, that I am stronger than I've ever been, and I am okay. After all, I'm not starting over with nothing. I'm starting over with experience, and with those I love right by my side. With so much darkness in the world, so much despair, I just wanted to show people that there is always hope, even on the darkest days of your lives. I want people to know that things, no matter how dark or bleak, can get better. I want people to understand that you can start over from anything that happens to you. You can start over with nothing but the clothes on your back. At the end of the day, what matters most are the people in your lives and the kind of life you choose to live. Unknown to most people, evacuating for a hurricane is no easy task. It's not as simple as packing up and going in 20 minutes. There's no place you can truly go to escape in Florida when you have no idea where a hurricane is going to make landfall. Every model had Hurricane Ian going northward. When the calls for evacuations came in the late afternoon of the 27th, he was still going north. Every place to evacuate was already full or too far to drive before Ian made landfall. No one wanted to risk being caught on the road with this monster of a storm. And we didn't want to leave our property because getting back would take forever. By midnight of the 27th, 28th, Ian was still going northward to Tampa. But by 5 a.m. of the 28th, he had taken a southerly-easterly turn and was headed right at us. At this point, nearly everyone was asleep. Not me. I was just sitting there watching the storm surge numbers continue to go up and up. Our shutters had been placed up, our bags were packed, and the PCs were placed on top of the safe, both mine and my brother's. At this point, Ian's outer bands had started to come in. It wasn't safe to transport the PCs with the 50-60 mile-an-hour winds and the rain going sideways. My family and I sat at 5:30 in the morning and made the difficult decision to go to the only place that had a second story, and that was my grandfather's a couple of streets inland. I have no video of this. At this point, I was wet, tired, and so stressed out over what was going to happen. We had done what we could to prepare. For those of you who don't know, Ian was my first hurricane, and nothing, not even the best laid plan, could have prepared us for what happened. My mother decided to film some videos of this. A couple are mine. Some of the pictures are from my uncle or my grandfather or father. Pay close attention to the ground.
Hi folks, hi friends. This is Hurricane Ian. I'm at my father-in-law's house on the upstairs. It is insane. It is insanely crazy. I haven't even been to my house. I don't know what to expect. My brother-in-law and sister-in-law just lost everything. This is bad. Love you friends. I will definitely keep in touch. I'll try and share this video. Love you bunches. Bye-bye. Hi friends, there's a little bit more. Oh my god, I had my neighbor check my house. We lost our garage door. Heaven knows what else. I have no clue. This is absolutely horrible. Very devastating.
And we're especially worried about the neighborhood cat as well.
Yep.
We tried to keep her safe, but...
We tried to keep our neighborhood kitty safe. We don't know what happened to her. I don't know. I hope she's all right. I hope she went wherever she usually does go. So, I don't know. We'll keep you... It's insane. We'll talk to you later. Bye. Are you talking?
Nah, I'm just recording. Oops.
I'm gonna talk. Oh, how did I don't know if you can see, but we're at Skippy's upstairs and it is completely flooded in the backyards. Oh my god. My neighbors have texted me, our street is flooded. I would imagine our house is probably flooded too. I don't know. I really hope Kitty got up high Oh my god, this is a nightmare, guys. I cannot. I just want to cry. This is just horrible. I'll talk to you later. Bye bye.
Just about a Cat 5, 85 miles per hour. Cat 5 is 159. It's 4 miles away from the Cat 5. Yeah. Get there yet? Taking your video?
Yep. Oh, it's running out?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's running out.
Most of the house,
Yeah.
Hello again, I'm back. I wanted to just kind of update you. The rain has kind of subsided, but it is really, really windy. Look at the devastation here. This is just the backyard in back of Skippy's upstairs. Sorry about that. It is just devastated. It is just flooded. It is crazy. The skies are just wicked. Look at this. Gosh, I don't know if you can hear the wind blowing. Craziness. But we are all okay. We'll talk to you later. Bye.
We were in the southeast eye wall of Hurricane Ian for more than 6 hours. The southeast eye wall was where the worst of the storm surge was. The barrier islands of Captiva, Sanibel, and Fort Myers Beach took a direct hit from the storm surge of 10 to 15 feet and went miles inland to where I am. This all occurred after noontime of the 28th. Sometimes I smile and think back to the fact those of us who took shelter at my grandfather's were playing around with the fact the power kept coming and going all morning, making bets on when it would finally go out for good. And when it did, all we had was a weather radio, whatever battery our phones had left. The water crept up on us, as you heard, and all it took the water less than a minute to reach us from 2 streets over. We only had seconds to get upstairs, and when my grandfather and father said the water was rising out back, I instantly knew. It was like my heart dropped on the ground. I went cold, and I hauled my ass upstairs. Like, I knew. For hours, that was our living hell. As everything we've worked for our entire lives was being destroyed, and we were powerless to stop it. Our hearts were torn, not knowing if my aunt, uncle, and cousin who lived on one of the barrier islands was even alive. If anybody we knew on the islands or around us were even still alive. At some point, we lost cell service. Our only lifeline at that point was the radio. And the only food we had was blueberry and banana muffins, and what little water we had saved before the water came in. Outside, the water rose to 6 feet. Somehow, my uncle, father, and grandfather were barely able to control the level in the house. No one knew how high that water would rise. At the time, you don't know how high that water will rise. We held our breath, hoping it wouldn't rise higher. I will say this now. I could have died. Or I could have lost my entire family that day to the storm surge that took dozens of lives. People that my family and I knew who drowned. To say that night was horrific. Surviving what we had, not knowing the next day was going to be as equally horrific. Your mind just shuts down. Not knowing if your family's alive, it's traumatic. We barely got any sleep when we didn't have enough beds for everyone. I mean, I spent half the night in a chair. And secondly, the car alarms and fire alarms were going off because of the storm surge that had fried the electrics of the vehicles, home appliances, and, the breakers of the houses. As you saw, that eerie red glow when it was getting dark was something I've never seen before and probably never will again. It was at that point deemed too dangerous for us to go anywhere. When dawn came, the true scope of what Hurricane Ian did to my home, my family, and the community of Southwest Florida became so unbelievably clear. I'm sorry, I promised myself I wouldn't cry, but here I am. Sorry. And so, I'll just let it roll.
This is our garage. I don't know. I can't find Cece Cat. I don't think she survived. Oh my god. This is just... I don't even know where to start. This is our backyard. My big tree still standing. The neighbor's shed is completely gone. I'm walking around the back. This is the back of my house. There's the laundry room. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is... Oh my gosh.
Oh, the fridge is almost on its side.
I don't know what I can save or what I cannot save. Oh my god. Oh my god. This is my living room. This is my living room. Oh my god. Well, I saved a few things. Oh my god. Oh my god. Her PCs are fine. Oh jeez.
We've lost everything.
This is our little neighborhood. Again, hello. I've been trying to salvage what I could at our house. Our neighbor's having a medical emergency. We're gonna flag down the ambulance. You guys, I never do a selfie. We lost everything. I'm so devastated. But we're alive. I can't believe this. But back to the neighborhood. I'm just so upset.
My entire family, my grandfather, my parents, my brother, my aunt, my uncles, my cousins, and our pets all suffered a direct hit from Hurricane Ian. We all lost nearly everything we owned. We lost our vehicles and we lost our jobs. That was the day that it all came crashing down for me. I had no pillow to lay my head down at night. We had no access to food or water, no information. Seeing people walk aimlessly. Legit, all they had left was a small backpack, having survived the storm surge, escaping their destroyed homes. That will haunt me for the rest of my life. Once we got word that my uncle, my aunt, and my cousin had survived, it was like music to my ears. Later, my uncle would tell me about those that didn't make it. Not just the bodies that were seen floating down the road, but the animals who couldn't escape the water either. The necessities one needs to survive, just your basic necessities of food and water, we didn't have. No one had. All the stores, like Walmart and everything, had all got inundated with the storm surge. No one expected the water to rise the way it did, or come inland as far as it did. All I had was the clothes on my back, my PC, and the few possessions I had packed. That's it. I was homeless, jobless, my vehicle was gone, and I had nowhere to go. My other cousin's boyfriend was generous enough to give us a place to stay, but others were not as lucky. For those of you who probably want to know, is that my neighbor did not survive. I promise myself I wouldn't cry. Sorry. My cousin's boyfriend, the night of the 29th, cooked this meal. I don't even remember what it was, but all I remember is that it was the best meal I ever had. I had seconds, we all did. It was the first time in 48 hours I had had anything regarding a meal to eat since the night before Ian made landfall. I will always remember that meal because it was at that moment that I knew I was safe. Truly safe. I will forever be thankful for his hospitality. I slept on his couch, safe and dry that night, but our nightmare had only just begun. In the days that followed, it was a race against time to save what we could save from the black mold that was starting to grow on everything. There was no power, limited cell service. Everything was in that storm surge. Salt water combined with sewage, chemicals, you name it, it was in that water. And it covered everything. There's very little that can survive that. What ended up happening to our house was the storm surge filled the garage before the wall between the garage and the house couldn't take it any longer, and it buckled the wall and broke through at another, causing a surge inside. Anything that was not bolted down and or on the counters or on the kitchen table, things like furniture, bins, everything just flipped like it was nothing. Many things we had to take and toss it at the curb. It was the same for everyone on our street, for many homes across Southwest Florida. Then came to ripping out all the appliances, cabinets, drywall, basically ripping the house away to the studs. And while we got lucky that we had a tile floor, even that took a beating from the furniture that was toppled. It was covered in this thick dark slime that just took ages to clean, and the smell just, it smelled like dead bodies. Like, it's the most horrific smell you'd ever want to smell. And after a certain point, it got to the point where we had to wear masks because the mold was just horrific. For the better part of a month, this is what we were doing. Just ripping our lives apart and rebuilding it to the point we could just live basically in our house again. And yeah. Just
This is my laundry room. Look at the washing machine. Haven't even attempted to go in there. It's insane. Oh my goodness. Disastrous. That's my back room. They started kind of cleaning things out yesterday, but it's just look at the cabinets. They just were tossed around like nothing. I'll talk to you in a minute.
Here are some pictures from before the hurricane, and here what it was like after.
Hello, my friends. This is an update. As you can see, this is my kitchen. As of right now, we have ordered the bottom cabinets, but they won't come in until January. I do have a stove, an oven, and there's my utility sink. It's very interesting. I'm just scanning into the living room. Forgive the mess. Everything is just everywhere. That's the new sofa and the new coffee table. I have to do these in little increments because they won't let me send you a huge one. There's the doors. There's our dining table / office, which we don't use. We eat at TV trays, watch TV.
As the months passed, we slowly got things back together. This is all before and after, to show you just how much damage there was. But also to explain all the banging you hear in videos and why exactly I can't do a full, standard schedule for live streaming videos is because of all the work that is being done and that is still being done to this day, even 1 year later. I know y'all have been wanting at some point a setup video about my PC, so I'll just show y'all how it was before the hurricane and how things have been since in terms of my setup. This is the 27th of September, and this would be the 29th. To put things into perspective, the only furniture we had left was the green outdoor chairs and my desktop. The desktop my father built me before the hurricane, with the woodworking machinery he lost in Ian. I was insisting on waterproofing it, and I'm happy I did. As you know in the beginning of the video when we were talking about our neighborhood cat, Cece, she and all the other cats, strays we have living in the neighborhood, well, they all survived Ian and the storm surge. And for Cece, she was with us every step of the way as we recovered from Ian. Even the goddamn cane zone survived. He popped back up about a month after the storm. Even then, within a year, it was like history repeating itself. Hurricane Idalia came so close to our doorstep, following a path eerily similar to Hurricane Ian. Trust me, it was very nerve-wracking. But all storms pass, even the ones that tear apart families and tear apart communities. Southwest Florida, even 1 year later, still has a very long way to go. These videos and photos were taken within a week before this video airs. I wanted to showcase the truth, that local businesses have come back in food trucks, that people are recovering, as slow as it has been. That also, the spirit of Florida Strong lives on. This is Fort Myers Beach today. The music's still playing, the clock has returned. The mural in the tower, now called the Legacy Tower, that withstood the storm surge while the rest of the building was swept away, is a reminder that we can weather the storm, any storm, and that we can come back from any disaster. Will it take years to rebuild? Yes. But like this channel, 1 year later, we're all still here. To all my viewers, this has been one horrific year, and it has been a beautiful year. It is a year that was filled with sorrow and hope. Every day we work to rebuild. Every day I get one day closer to my new normal. A year ago, I was so afraid I was going to lose this channel and all of you, lose all my videos. Now, a year later, I cannot wait to see what is in store for myself, for you guys, and this channel. I have so many ideas, so much content to share. I know all of you have been wondering why I haven't gone live this week, mainly because I'm still dealing with the trauma of what I went through. Being so close to the anniversary of Hurricane Ian and it being the first one, I wanted to spend most of it with family. Just remembering everyone that we've lost and finding a way to carry on with the sadness in our hearts. 1 year later, it does seem like we do need a fresh start. But don't worry, don't you guys worry. Trust me, you're gonna love what comes next.